The year is 1949. The first fair is held at the new county fairgrounds in the city of Gaithersburg, a gentle small town of not quite 2,000 that sits in the heart of Montgomery County. The nearest main road is Old Route 40, just 2 lanes and unpretentious. And some local city merchants make a decision. It's time for businesses to stand up and to be counted. By, quote, a sheer force of will, end quote, says Rod Thompson of Thompson's Market, later of State Farm Insurance, the Gaithersburg Businessmen's Association is born. The original members are mostly old towners, owners of businesses in the center of Gaithersburg. They're in lumber and insurance and farm supplies and food, the things you'd expect in a small rural town of farms, fine old houses, and a 300-year-old tree, and of course the railroad. By 1951, they are 31 members strong, and Kenneth Barcord of C&P Telephone is the association's president. Committees are formed to parcel out the work to be done. The city is growing, and the businesses with it. There are roads and bridges to be built or improved, and Old Route 40 draws a lot of attention. In time, it will be known as Route 355 and will boast flowered medians or central turn lanes with at least 2 lanes going in each direction. The 1950s roll by quickly. The C&P Telephone Company moves its local switching center to a 2-story colonial red brick building in the shade of the historic oak on North Frederick Avenue, Route 40 through the city. There are 3,200 users of the telephone system. In 1959, the Gaithersburg Library starts the decade in the fire station building on Diamond Avenue in Old Town. Shortly thereafter, it joins the county library system and moves to the county's central library office, also on Diamond Avenue. At the end of the decade, it moves again to larger quarters at Brooks and Park Avenues. Later, in the 80s, it will move one last time to a modern facility on Montgomery Village Avenue. The city government moves into new quarters on Summit Avenue in 1958. The large Victorian house, built in 1885, once had a 2-car garage, a pump house, and a windmill, and under the ownership of Mr. Edward P. Schwartz and his wife Hannah Marie Schwartz, later Lloyd, it once boasted a world-class peony garden that brought admirers from as far away as Washington, including President Wilson and Gilbert Grosvenor, president of the National Geographic Society. The city is served by 2 bus companies, Blue Ridge Lines, which runs on Route 40-355 between Frederick and Washington, and Montgomery Bus Lines, which concentrates on the Gaithersburg-Washington Grove-Rockville-Washington route. In 1955, Blue Ridge is sold to Eastern Greyhound Lines, which gradually reduces service because of the increasing use of private automobiles and the commensurate decrease in the use of its buses. By 1978, there's only 1 round trip on this line between Frederick and Washington over Route 355. In 1956, Montgomery Bus Lines is taken over by the DC Transit Company, which continues to operate between Washington and Gaithersburg through this decade and the next. In 1973, it's taken over by Metro. Through the 1950s, the Businessmen's Association is involved in the social issues of the day, and economics, education, the city council, and the roads. There's Muddy Branch on one side and routes 124 and 117 on the other, all of which need widening or expansion or sidewalks or repairs. In Old Town itself, more parking is needed and better sidewalks too. And then there's Route 40, a continuing problem. There's also a new road that's come down from Frederick, Route 240, which is started in the early 50s but doesn't get past Gaithersburg until the middle of the decade. And when it does, there's no sign telling travelers to turn here for Gaithersburg. Later, this road will be I-270 and everyone will know where Gaithersburg is. And oh yes, there's talk of a link between Baltimore and the Up-County, one that would go across country to shorten the distance for commerce and industry. It's not called the Inter-County Connector, but that's what they're thinking. They contact Governor McKeldin and the city's Mayor Perry in a letter that could have been written in the 90s. Quote, the streets of the town and the roads of the surrounding territory are of concern to us, for it is our desire to receive trade from the residents, not only of our town, but also of the large territory of Montgomery County that surrounds Gaithersburg, end quote. Sounds familiar today. This is an excerpt from the Greater Gaithersburg Chamber of Commerce booklet from 1949 to 1994, written by the Chamber of Commerce for the Chamber's 45th anniversary. This year we're celebrating 75 years. We'll have more to come.